Miss Stone says it was wonderful when Mr. Jernigan stole her heart, but not so great when he gambled away their son's birthday money. Now she's ready to cash out. Today on Divorce Court. All rise. The Honorable Judge Starr presiding.
Hello, everyone. You may be seated.
Your Honor, the case of Stone v. Jernigan.
Thank you very much, Ms. Stone, Mr. Jernigan. Very happy to have you here in divorce court. I understand that you all have been together for 5 years, and you have one child together, a son who is 1.5 years old. But Ms. Stone, you look very frustrated and very fed up. Why are we in court today?
Your Honor, I'm here in court today because I'm fed up. My boyfriend lies to me, he disrespects me, and he also mooches off me. And if he doesn't change his actions, then I'm done, and I'm leaving.
Are you ready to walk away from the relationship?
Yes, if he doesn't change his actions, I'm done.
Mr. Jernigan, did you hear what your fiancé said?
Yes, Judge. I love her. I really want to be with her. I want to change my ways, and that's why I'm here, Judge.
So let's see if there changes in the cards. Why don't you take me back, Ms. Stone? Where did you all meet? How did you meet? And what got us to a point where we are in divorce court when y'all not even married?
So yeah, we met in high school. It was our senior year, towards the end of the year. We both went to 2 different schools. He had DM'd me on Instagram. He asked for my Snapchat. I gave it to him. Then we exchanged numbers from there. And then after that, a week later, we went on our first date, which was at a movie theaters. And then from there, we started dating exclusively about a month later. Then shortly,
you were both 17 years old when this happened.
Yeah, we were young.
Okay,
yeah.
so you all were young.
And so, we then graduated high school. We did a lot of quality time stuff. Like, he took me out to the beach. We went out to so many restaurants. We even went to each other's houses. So it was just very adventurous, very high, and I just loved it.
That sounds like what young people do when they're getting to know each other and you're starting to date. Do you remember that way, Mr. Jernigan, also?
Yes, we were having fun, Your Honor. I took her over my house. She had met my mom, met my dad. We had a very great time together. I was taking her out a lot. I really wanted to show her a good time, show her I was a gentleman, show her I was a good person, just how my dad raised me.
Okay, everything is sounding good. What changed?
What changed was 2 years into our relationship. He just started getting into gambling. He was doing sports betting and got deep into MMA to a point where it was just interfering with our quality time. He would take me out on dates and basically just be on his phone. I invited him to a few family events, and he would just cancel on me. Hey, I got fights. It's coming on live. I can't miss it. I
want to make sure I understand this. MMA, tell me what that is.
Mixed martial arts.
Okay.
So yes, I want to be an MMA fighter. I love MMA. I want to be the best ever. I told her that before the relationship. She already knew. With MMA, you have to be very devoted.
But it's not that devoted to.
But I'm sorry. You want to be an MMA fighter?
Yes. I want to be an MMA fighter.
Okay, I got it. Mixed martial arts. I'm into sports. I love this. So, how are you preparing to be an MMA fighter?
So one of the ways is watching MMA fights. I use that.
But it shouldn't be that exclusive. That's the thing. So you're watching it to a point where it's interfering with our relationship. And so that's where the problem really gets into.
But she knew already before the relationship, so it's not like anything new.
Okay, but I knew, but I didn't think it was going to take it to that extreme.
But wait a minute, Mr. Jernigan, I'm sorry. You watching MMA fights on, like, TV and streaming and that kind of stuff?
Yes. That MMA fights, it'll start at like 1 and it'll end at like 9 because it'll be like
so it's just like long times.
Okay, but who's your trainer and what gym do you train in?
So I train in Upland. My trainer is Eric Garcia.
That's not even the point of it, though. It's just that the problem, it just kept escalating. I confronted him about it.
But how am I supposed to be the best at something?
But wait a minute, I'm sorry.
If
Corey,
I'm not training or anything.
I gotta go to my expert. Corey, you do martial arts?
I do, and I trained for 3 years before I even thought about competing. You can't just watch TV if you're gonna be serious.
That part, true.
It don't work that way.
That's
you're gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
I was confused because I know how disciplined Corey is for training, but you watching the streaming and stuff and gambling. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So how has that manifested itself in your relationship to make it disrespectful for you?
I had invited him to one of my family reunions.
Like a gathering of your family?
Yes, it was a gathering of my family. This was the first time he was actually meeting my family.
A big
so
day,
this was a
big day.
Yes, ma'am, very big deal. And so I invite him, you know, we pull up, he's on his phone watching his fights, didn't really do a proper introduction for himself, didn't really get to know people.
How long had you all been dating when that occurred?
This was about 2 years after.
Ooh.
Yes, and
Mr. Jernigan, I know that was bad.
Your Honor, as I was saying, I want to be the best. And to be the best, you got to make sacrifices. And when I went there, I had told her before, like, hey, these MMA fights come on, it's live. I got to watch them. I get there, I say hi to everybody. I say hi to everybody. I introduce myself. I go in the car. It was a hot day. I turn on the AC.
No.
I kick back my legs, and I'm watching my MMA fights.
But that's just rude and disrespectful towards my family.
When my favorite
That's how
fighter
you
is
came
fighting,
out.
I'm going to watch it. I have to.
But that's how you came out to my family. And so that was really embarrassing on my part because it's like, I'm inviting you to meet my family, which I really love. And if you really want to be with me, you will learn to love these people too and get to know them too. But you didn't. And so, you know, that card right back, you know, I did confront him on it. He said, well, you already know what it is. And that just made me feel like, what the heck? Like, what do you mean?
That should make you feel like you are not a priority.
Yes, it did.
Mr. Jernigan, she's not the priority.
No, she for sure is the priority, Judge.
But how can you sit in a car outside of an event where her family is when you know being at that event is important to her?
Your Honor, like I said, I love my MMA. I want to be an MMA fighter. To be the best, you have to make sacrifices. Everybody makes sacrifices to be the best.
And now, if you told me you had a fight that day and that you had to choose between going to the fight, which is your passion and your future, and going to a social event with her family, then we would have a discussion. But if you're telling me I'm watching somebody else fight on TV, that can't be the priority.
Yes.
The priority has to be inside eating some chicken and mashed potatoes or something.
That part, yes. Our son just turned 1 last year in June. Our family gave him about like $500 in birthday money, so he thought he could put the money into a stock. Instead, he bet that money on some sports bets, which was $500 down the drain.
Honestly, Your Honor, that was my mistake.
I haven't heard one that was not your mistake
exactly.
yet. Is that the only incident?
No, that is not the only incident. About like 2 months ago, he had asked me for $40 for food. And I willingly gave it to him. You know, if you're hungry, I got you. He didn't have money around this time. So I gave him the money. He ends up using that $40 on some sport betting. He did win $200, but I never saw that money. You never gave me, you did not pay me that. So that's the problem.
Come on, Mr. Jernigan, so you tell me what's going on.
Your Honor, so Alicia let me borrow $40. I had made a bet and I won. I was feeling good. Once you win a bet, you feel like you can win another one. I thought I could win like 20K. So I bet that I bet 40. I won 200, and then I was trying to win 20K off of that 200. So I bet the 200, which I should have paid her back before that.
But you didn't.
The rest, but I didn't, and I'm sorry. But why I think it's a good thing is because like I'm trying to make more money to pay for her and my son, so she needs to look at my intentions.
No, it's not about the intention.
But my intent is good. I'm trying. I'm trying to do better.
You submitted evidence, and I want to see that evidence. Let's see what you got. Are these the betting? Ooh, Lord Jesus.
Yeah.
But they're negative, Mr. Jernigan.
Yeah, because you're losing. Like, you're wasting money.
Yeah.
All that money could have went to your son.
I'm not like doing like 200, 500. It's small ones, 5, 6, 8. It's small little bets.
No,
but here's
that's
my
not
question.
small.
Here's my question, Mr. Jernigan. Do you right now have $685 to throw away?
No, I don't.
That's all I'm talking about. because, God has blessed me with a couple of dollars, but I live my life like it could change at any moment. I just do. Like your son is a year and a half.
Yes. So our son just turned 1 last year in June. For his birthday party, our family gave him about like $500 in birthday money.
Oh, how sweet.
Yes, and which they hoped that it would go towards his future savings.
Right.
And I did too. So James was telling me about investing into his future, so he thought he could put the money into a stock. But the thing is, that money never went into a stock.
Where'd the money go?
Instead, he bet that money on some sports bets, which was $500 down the drain. Not only his money, it's not even his money, it's our son's money.
Mr. Jernigan, now I understand with your money, but this is your son's future that you're gambling with.
Yes. Honestly, Your Honor, that was my mistake.
I haven't heard one that was not your mistake
exactly.
yet. You got to defend yourself here. Come on.
I was confident, and I was able to win. I told her, like, hey, I'm going to invest in stocks, but I really wanted to triple it faster. So I bet the money. I didn't lose all of it. I still had $30
No, Jen,
left.
it's the point is that you spent our son's money. It wasn't yours.
Yeah.
That's his future. Why would you jeopardize his future like that? That means you're willing to jeopardize his future. It's not about tripling it.
If we have 500,
it's not about
I can make
tripling
it to 1,500.
No, it's not about tripling it.
But you
No.
didn't. And you clearly are not a skilled gambler. I know sometimes I can sound like the auntie, but that's okay. I'll play that role for you right now. You all made a determination very early in your relationship that you were ready for a child. That means you were ready for responsibility. Okay?
He was supposed to pay for our son's diapers, wipes, and also the clothes. But he ended up betting up like $2,000 on betting. It was
over
ridiculous. No. It was a ridiculous amount of money on bets.
It's led to some other money problems. Am I right, Ms.
Yes, it has. This one time he had, planned a whole date for us to go to Cheesecake Factory. He told me before going, like, he had it all covered. I had nothing to worry about. So that's my intent. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm good. So we get the bill. It's about like $150. And, he goes on his phone. He looks at the phone and he sees that his parlay didn't hit. And he's looking at me and he's like, oh, you're going to have to cover this. And I didn't come prepared for that. He told me that he had it covered.
Gonna win,
no, you told me that
intent.
you had it covered, but you didn't.
I was going to win.
I have to call up a family member so they could send me money so that I could cover for your meal, really. And he paid me back 2 months later. But I had to get that money to a family member.
See, I have absolutely no doubt about Mr. Jernigan's intent. I think you're a nice young man. I really do. But I'm going to tell you something right now. I wouldn't live with you. And that would scare me. That would scare me.
Now, Your Honor.
That would scare me, Mr. Jernigan, because you're making irresponsible choices. That bothers me. So I'm not sure that if I have to go to work and I leave the baby with you, that you're not going to be focused on MMA here or sports betting there.
Yep.
Not because your intent was bad or to hurt the baby, but you're not focused on the things that matter in your life.
Yes, ma'am. All
That's what
right.
concerns me, sir. And they impact on other people's lives.
Yes.
And it's really going to be up to you to put on your big boy pants and accept the truth. You're making irresponsible decisions.
Well, I just want her to accept me for who I am and trying to be the best at MMA.
But accepting you for who you are, like...
And, giving me leeway, like...
That's not leeway. You got to take care of your son. You have a whole responsibility.
But how am I supposed to be the best if I don't make sacrifice?
So you're going to sacrifice your son?
No. But
and
I'm
his future and all that he
time.
needs?
Sometimes I have to sacrifice time because I got to study film. I got to go practice, and I got to make weight. There's a different things I have to do.
For me, your son should always come first. That's your priority.
He for sure comes first.
He's definitely your priority. And
but
speaking of priorities, there was also this one time he was supposed to pay for our son's diapers, wipes, and also the clothes. But he ended up betting up like $2,000 on betting. It
was over a month.
ridiculous. No. It was a ridiculous amount of money on bets.
Mr. Jernigan?
Your Honor, honestly, we had made a plan that we were going to go back and forth of buying diapers, clothes and wipes. She had just previously went, so it was my turn. I had bet a little over $1,800.
See, no, this is when responsibilities come in because if you knew your turn
Ms.
was
Stone,
coming up.
excuse me, Mr. Jernigan's talking.
So I bet a little over $1,800. I lost it. I was almost pretty sure I was going to win. That's the only reason why I did it.
Yes.
Maybe I shouldn't have done it, but it was worth the risk.
Worth the risk.
If I could turn $1,800 and I could make $25K.
But you didn't. The point is that you didn't.
Ms. Stone, Mr. Jernigan?
I apologized to her, and
Mr. Jernigan, you're not ready for prime time. That's it.
Yeah.
You're a nice, young, irresponsible man. Ms. Stone, is this the life you want?
No.
Then you're going to need to walk away on your own. Ms. Stone, you said when you walked in here, you thought your boyfriend was a lying, disrespectful moocher. You said if he doesn't change, you are prepared to leave the relationship. Mr. Jernigan, you came here to admit your mistakes and to save your relationship. You have admitted your mistakes, but you have done nothing to tell me that you're trying to save this relationship. Ms. Stone, this is on you. You now know what your prize is going to be. Where do you stand?
I stand for myself and I stand for my son. I definitely want a partner that's going to be able to provide for him and me without me worrying and putting me in certain positions and basically jeopardizing my financial situation in my life. And if I need to step away to do that, then I will. And I'm standing on that.
Are you staying in this relationship or are you ready to walk away?
If he's not willing to change, then I'm walking away.
Mr. Jernigan, tag you're it. What are you willing to do?
Your Honor, I love her. I want to be with her. I love my son. I want to take great care of her and my son. To be honest, maybe I do bet a little bit too much, but for her and my son, I'll dial down the betting.
No, you need to stop the betting. You don't have money. You don't have money. When you have to borrow money from somebody to bet, you should not be betting. You don't have money.
Yes, Your Honor.
You don't get to act like every other little silly 22-year-old out here. Your road dogs, your homeboys. You don't get to do that. You have responsibilities. And if you determine that you're not ready for all of that, let her go. So you either say to this young lady, I'm willing to step up or I'm willing to let you go. One or the other.
I'm willing to step up. And I'll stop gambling and throwing away money, and I'll make sure I'll, become the man that you and my son need.
I need all actions. All actions, because words ain't doing it for me. I need actions.
I got you.
Put him to the test. 6 months.
Yes, ma'am.
By the time your son is 2, the terrible twos are gonna have a whole new meaning. Okay? This case is done.
Made in Georgia.